Most people think they need to clean their house. I thought that too. But I've learned something after years of trying different ADHD organization systems. The biggest problem wasn't actually the cleaning. It was that my house constantly demanded attention. Every room wanted me to remember something, every pile became another decision, and every unfinished task stayed in the back of my mind. By the end of the day, I felt mentally exhausted before I even started cleaning. So instead of trying to become more organized, I started building systems that made my house easier to manage. Not perfect, not Instagram worthy, just easier. Today I'm sharing 9 systems that have made the biggest difference for me. And that's because if you have ADHD, your house should not require constant thinking. It should do some of that thinking for you. ADHD system number 1 is everything has a home near where I use it. One of the biggest reasons I used to create clutter wasn't because I was lazy. It's because putting stuff away would actually require me to walk somewhere else. If I use scissors in the kitchen, their home can't be upstairs. The easier it is to put something away, the more likely I'll actually do it. People often organize items by category. ADHD brains usually do better organizing by point of use. Ask yourself, where do I naturally reach for this? That's where it belongs. You're designing around your habits instead of fighting them. And ask yourself this too, what item do you constantly leave out? That's usually a clue it lives in the wrong place, wrong location in your home. And here are some good examples. In my kitchen drawer, I have a pair of scissors. I need scissors all the time, and the kitchen is one of the places I need them a lot, so they're in the drawer there. Also, I have a basket. I put my remote inside this basket so I know where my TV remote is all the time, so I don't have to go around and look for it. ADHD system number 2 is reset stations. Things don't magically end up where they belong. Sometimes they just need somewhere to pause. Instead of expecting myself to carry everything all the way back all the time, I created reset stations. A basket by the stairs, one near a bedroom, one by the front door, and throughout the week, items collect there. When I already happen to be going upstairs, I grab the basket. Instead of making dozens of individual trips, I make one. And that removes friction, and less friction means more follow through. And on my counter, you can see I have 2 baskets and 1 clear container. The big basket is my laundry basket. The clear container is my drop zone container. Any clutter I find around my home that I don't know what I'm gonna do with, whether I'm gonna donate it, throw it away, I go ahead and put it into this container. And then the other basket is my return basket. Anything I found around my home that's out of place that I need to return back to its right place, I put it in here so it's all corralled in one place. And then at the end of the day, I go and take that stuff and put it back where it belongs. If you're enjoying the content, getting value out of the content, then like the video and subscribe to the channel. ADHD system number 3 is open reminders, close clutter. ADHD often creates a strange problem. If I can't see something, I just forget that it exists. But on the other hand, if everything is visible, my home feels just overwhelming with all the visual clutter. So what I ask is, does this need to remind me, or does it need to just be stored? So what I do is daily items stay visible, everything else gets hidden. And the thing is, that's not because it looks nicer. That's because visible things actually compete for attention. Your eyes are constantly scanning, and every object is asking for mental energy. So reducing visual noise actually reduces mental noise. And here's a good example. In this cabinet here, I have a container with all sorts of types of trash bags and plastic bags in one container. I know when I open this cabinet up, those bags should be there. I know where they are all the time. And then I have another cabinet with cleaning supplies I don't use every day. I have them on one location, so I know when I need them, they'll all be in that one cabinet. And here's an example of keeping things visible. I need to know where my medicine is all the time, so when I need to take it, I can go ahead and take it. So I got this pill case here. It's really cool because it is round, it is taller, has a little height to it. My other pill cases were flatter. It's much easier to see this once I know where my medicine is all the time. I also have a water bottle there, so when I go to take my medicine, I don't have to look for water to take it. It's all right in that one location. ADHD system number 4 is maintenance over projects. I stopped trying to have cleaning days. Instead, I look for maintenance moments. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. And that's because most messes don't become overwhelming overnight. They slowly grow. And small maintenance keeps them from becoming big projects. So you don't need motivation. You need tiny opportunities. And here's some examples of things that you can do. You see right here, I'm wiping down my counter really quick, really easy. And you can also see right here, I take all my junk mail, I throw all that junk mail in the trash. I don't need that junk mail anymore. And then I keep just the one thing that's actually good mail. ADHD system number 5 is the finish line system. Most of us think a task is finished when the obvious part is done. But for ADHD, that's usually where tomorrow's friction begins. For example, doing the dishes isn't finished until the sink is empty. Taking out the trash is not finished until a new bag is in the trash can. Using the last roll of paper towels isn't finished until another roll of paper towels is there. And making coffee isn't finished until you have everything in place to make coffee in the morning. So I started asking one question. What's the last 10% that makes the next time easier? That tiny extra step that keeps small problems from multiplying all week long. And speaking of coffee, I like my coffee in the morning, and so you can see right here, I'm pulling out my drawer, has some K-cups in there, but there's just not enough. So I start refilling the drawer with additional K-cups so I know that I am ready to make coffee in the morning and all throughout the week. ADHD system number 6 is the always moving forward system. Walking upstairs, take one thing that belongs there. Walk into the kitchen, grab the empty cup. None of these trips are cleaning trips. They're adding one tiny task to something I was already doing. And those little movements prevent clutter from building into overwhelming projects. I don't clean while I walk around my house. I let walking around my house slowly clean it. And you can see right here, my shaker cup in my hand, I'm taking that shaker cup into the kitchen. You can also see I have a bowl. I have it in my hand. I'm taking that bowl into the kitchen. One item that I just picked up as I'm randomly coming to the kitchen. And these little trips are going to make keeping my home organized and cleaner much easier. ADHD system number 7 is decision-free supplies. One thing that creates a surprising amount of stress is running out of everyday items. Dish soap, laundry detergent, toilet paper, trash bags, paper towels. And because of that, I have one simple rule now. When I open up the backup, that item immediately gets added to my shopping list. The thing is, I don't want to wait until I'm completely out. I don't try to remember later. The backup is the reminder. And that means I almost never have to stop what I'm doing because I've ran out of something. And this in turn means less interruption and less frustration. And here's an example. When I open this drawer, here's my plastic bag holder. It's pretty cool. Holds quart size, freezer quart size, sandwich bags, and have gallon bags here too as well. Also holds different kind of bags, other kind of bags as well too. Now think about this is really good because I can see how many bags of whatever type that I have left. And that means when I get close to running out, I know that I need to go ahead and start refilling the different types of bags in different spaces. ADHD system number 8 is make starting obvious. With ADHD, finishing is not always the hardest part. Sometimes it's just getting started. I've noticed if the first step is hidden, inconvenient, or requires me to gather supplies, there's a much higher chance I'll put it off. So instead of trying to motivate myself, I make the first step impossible to miss. For example, if I want to vacuum, I don't keep the vacuum buried behind a lot of other things. If I need to wipe the bathroom counter every few days, I keep my cleaning spray and my cloth together where I naturally reach for them. If I need to go through mail, I keep a letter opener, a pen, a shred pile all in the same place. The easier it is to start, the more likely that I'll finish. And here's what I've learned. I've learned that motivation shows up after I begin, but not before. Instead of asking, how do I make myself clean? I ask, how do I make starting automatic? And that one question has helped me get far more done instead of waiting until I felt motivated. So the thing to take away is make the first step easy. And here you can see I have my cleaning supplies on my rolling cart. This is really good because I can roll my supplies around to whatever room I'm in. It makes it really easy to start because I know they're all together on here. The easier it is to start, the easier your house feels to manage. ADHD system number 9 is recovery as part of the system. One of the biggest mistakes I made is thinking a system failed every time my life got messy. Now I expect bad weeks. Stress happens, illness happens, busy weeks happen, travel happens. The goal isn't preventing mess. The goal is making recovery fast. Instead of trying to organize the whole house, I have a recovery order. Trash first, dishes second, laundry third, and everything else can wait. And what that does, it gives me momentum. And momentum is usually what the ADHD brain needs the most. A good system isn't one that never falls apart. It's actually one that's easy to restart. Your house doesn't have to stay perfect. It just has to be easy to recover. And you can see right here, I'm starting my laundry. I'm getting all the clothes in there and getting my laundry detergent in there and then starting my laundry. Here's something that took me years to realize. A house that's easier to manage doesn't necessarily require less work. It requires less thinking. Every one of these systems removes tiny decisions, tiny reminders, tiny frustrations. By themselves, they don't seem like much, but together, they make the home feel lighter. If you ever felt that you're trying to constantly catch up, you're not alone. Your brain isn't failing. Your house may just simply be asking too much from it. So you want to build systems that remember for you and reduce the number of decisions your brain has to make. And that's because the easier your house is to manage, the more energy you have left for things that actually matter. And something else you'll want to know is how you can get started with ADHD organization. How can you find more systems that help you manage your home? I have a playlist with videos that teach you how to do just that. When it comes up, click the box, click the playlist, and it will take you to the videos and you can find the videos that work best for you.